Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 6 in this series, The Pawn Rules. I have a game from you from the great Mikhail, one of chess's favorite sons, the 8th world champion. He was world champion from 1960 to 1961, and the game I will show you is from 1958. 2 years before he gained the world crown. It is from a simultaneous display which was held in Germany. Some sources give Hamburg in the north of Germany as the venue. Some say it was in Stuttgart in the south of Germany, but it doesn't really matter. What also doesn't matter is that we don't know the name of Tal's opponent who had the black pieces. It's all about Mikhail. Let's get into the game. Tal opened with e4 and we got a Sicilian, and black played the dragon defense with 5 g7 g6. The main line was followed, f3 by Tal, and here castling is the main move, but knight c6 was played by black, also a very common move. Queen d2, and again castling is the most popular move here, but bishop d7 was played by black. Tal castled queenside, and here rook c8 is the main move, but black played queen a5. The dragon is a very sharp system. King b1, rook c8 now, and g4. Positions with opposite side castling are always very exciting, even though black has not castled yet here. h6 to stop g5. So h4 from Tal. a6, black has to do something on the queen side. Bishop e2, connecting the rooks. Knight e5, a very common move from black in the dragon. And now g5. Attacking the knight on f6. And Tal in his analysis gives the following variation as winning for white. I'll just show you the variation. If the knight drops back to g8, then there is knight b3 hitting the queen. Queen all the way back. Then knight d5 and knight c4 is given by Tal, hitting white's queen. The knight gets taken. Rook takes, knight a5 hitting that rook, rook comes to a4, bishop b6 hitting the queen, protected by the knight on d5, queen steps aside, and then b3. A long variation given by Tal, with the conclusion that white is winning here, and he is indeed. But that would be a completely different game, and we have to be thankful for black for not retreating to g8, because the game would be a lot less spectacular. In the game, black decided to take on g5. And Tal took back. And what now? Knight h5 is given by the engine as the only move to play on, and black should be more or less okay in this very sharp position. But black took the rook, took on h1. And you would expect white to take back. You and I would have done that, I'm sure. And we would be happy with our position. Black again has to play knight h5, and white is somewhat better. But the great Mikhail did not take back. He took the knight on f6. So he has sacrificed an exchange so far. But it gets a lot crazier. You can retreat the rook to protect your bishop, then f takes g7, rook takes g7. White has 2 pieces for the rook and a very good position. Black did not go for that. He did not go back with his rook. He took on d1. Of course, taking a rook with check. How can that be bad? White has to take the rook. And bishop takes d1, for example, is bad, because then there is bishop takes f6. And black simply has an extra exchange. So did white overplay his hands? No, Tal had seen everything, even though it was a simultaneous display and he had many more boards to worry about. He took back with the knight, and that deserves a double exclamation mark. But what's the difference? Well, the difference is that the queen on a5 is now hanging. It's not protected there, so black does not have time to take on f6, because then he loses his queen. So what to do after knight takes d1? Well, logical is to take the queen, and that's what black played. But now we see that a pawn on f6 is worth more than the queen on d2. Tal is not recapturing on d2, because then there is bishop takes f6, and black has a winning position. with this extra exchange. So let's go back. Queen takes d2, and yes, the pawn is worth more than the queen because Tal took on g7, saving that pawn, and of course with the threat of promoting, leaving the queen on d2 alive. The threat is checkmate. g7, g8 would be checkmate. A promotion to a queen or a rook would deliver the checkmate. So black has to do something against that, for example king d8, and then we see a coronation, a new queen appears on g8 with check, king c7, and of course you still have to take back on d2, and your queen is hanging, but there's a simple solution. Queen takes c8 check, picking up a rook with check, because after king takes, bishop takes d2, the smoke has cleared and white is 2 pieces up. This is all very forced, so after f takes g7, black resigned. What a game from Tal. What an amazing combination. And you can look very silly if you miss one move. You can lose this game very quickly with white. It is a simultaneous display, so it's easy to miss a move, but Tal did not miss anything. He had seen all variations when he took on f6 here. Rook takes d1 check. He had seen that you have to take back with the knight, that now black's queen is hanging, and if black takes on d2, which he did, then you have f takes g7 with the threat of checkmate on g8, which means black has to do something against that, and then white eventually will have time to capture back on d2 with a winning material advantage. Mikhail Tal, what a legend he was! And now to a game of a slightly lower level. Rick against a chess to impress viewers. Let's put the position on the board. We are at move 10, and I have just played bishop c1 to g5, and it is your move. Which move would you make in this position? You can put it in the comments underneath this video, and by doing that you will be in the draw for a chess book. I will raffle a chess book at the end of the game, which was made available by my sponsor, the Beste Zet, a web shop for chess books. So what would you play here? I hope you will take part in the game. It is a very exciting position, and who knows, maybe we can make it a brilliant game like we just saw from Mikhail Tal. I do hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. If you like the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.